So for this problem, we are going to factor 6x squared y squared minus 14xy squared z minus 42xy cubed plus 12xy squared. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out the factors of each of these terms. So I got to do 6 divided by 1 and see what I get. So I get 6, so 1 and 6 is one of them, and then I'm going to try 2. Okay, so I get 2 and 3, and there it looped on itself. Next, we got to write the variables. So x squared means x times x, and y squared means y times y. Now let's do the next one. So I've got 14xy squared z. So I'm going to start with the 14. We've got 14 divided by 1, and I got 14. Then I've got 14 divided by 2, and I get 7. And then we try 14 divided by 3. Oh, that doesn't work, so 14 divided by 4. And I keep going until I get either a whole number or I come back to one that I already have. So notice that 6 didn't work, but I already had 7, so I'm not going to write 7. So now I'm going to go ahead and write my variables. So I've got x, and then there's y squared, so that means y times y, and then there's a z. And now let's do 42. Okay, so 42 divided by 1 is 42, so I got 1 and 42. And then I got to do 42 divided by 2. And I get 1 and 21, and then, 2 and 21. Then I got 42 divided by 3, and I get 3 and 14, and then 42 divided by 4. Nope, not a whole number. 42 divided by 5. Nope, 42 divided by 6. Let's see, 42 divided by 6. Yep, 6 and 7. Oh, and it just looped on itself. So now I can write my variables, which is x, and then I have y cubed, which is y times y times y. Okay, and then last but not least, let's do the 12xy squared. So I got 1 times 12, and then let's try 12 divided by 2. So I got 2 times 6, and then we got to divide it by 3. So I got 3 times 4, and there's the loop. And now I've got x, and then y squared is y times y. So now we're going to go through this, and we're going to find the greatest common factor, the one they have the most, or all of them have in common. So the biggest one they all have in common, I see a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 2. Now here's the deal. If you notice, a lot of these have this 3 in common. So there's a 3, there's a 3, and there's a 3. But 3 is not the GCF because there is no 3 in this factorization. Okay, so we can't use 3 because it's not in all of them. So we've got 2. Now let's see, they all have an x. So there's going to be an x in our GCF. And let's see what else. They all got a y. And we all have another y. Do you see that? They all have a second y. Do they all have a z? Nope. Just this 14 one has a z. So we're not going to put a z in it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write out our GCF in the front. So we got 2, and then we've got our x, y squared. And now I'm going to put everything else in parentheses, and I'm going to write what's left. So on this first one, what we have left is the 3 and an x that we didn't use. Next, I'm going to keep my sign for the 14. So I had a minus. I have a 7 left and a z left. So I've got 7z. Okay. On the 42, it was a minus. And what I have left is a 21 and a y. And then last but not least, on the 12, we have a 6 left and no variables. So my factorization of this one is 2xy squared times the quantity 3x minus 7z minus 21y plus 6.